This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, a knife-wielding robber encounters a fog cannon in a Dunedin dairy. Community leaders in Wanaka express concern over the consultation process regarding their airport. And bell ringers keep on ringing for 3 solid hours. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. A knife-wielding man got the fright of his life when he entered the St Kilda dairy yesterday afternoon. Demanding cigarettes, the would-be robber discovered the shop had been fitted with a new fog cannon.
The 10 o'clock dairy on Dunedin's Prince Albert Road was the scene of an attempted armed robbery yesterday afternoon. But the knife-wielding thief ran out of the store after a quick-thinking shop assistant triggered a smoke cannon and alarm. If he had stayed, the would-be robber would have found himself in a shop full of harmless but dense smoke. Dairy owner Sean Lee is delighted at how well the system works, but he's concerned about the brazen nature of the incident.
It's happened in the noon, in the mainstream. I think that the nation, the country, the government should care about the security of the people.
He says his store is just one of 3 in Dunedin equipped with a smoke cannon, which was installed as part of a government-sponsored safety initiative. Lee says the government should be using taxes from cigarette sales to install smoke cannons in all stores.
Every retailer who sells the cigarette should get the money from the government to install the cannon to protect the retailer and the customer.
Police say they are continuing to investigate the robbery attempt. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Armed police were called to an address in the Forbury area of South Dunedin this morning. Police say the incident in Richmond Street began just after 7 a.m. Armed officers and the police dog squad were seen outside the property shortly before 8 a.m. Police say they executed a search warrant but were not able to provide any more details. A second armed raid took place in North East Valley's Felix Street this afternoon. It is not known if the 2 raids were connected. Community leaders, concerned about plans to introduce jet services to Wanaka Airport, came out of a meeting last night worried their communities are being ignored. While the meeting was held behind closed doors at the Wanaka Community Centre, a group of protesters gathered outside to air their concerns about the consultation process.
Protesters in Wanaka last night objecting to the consultation process regarding plans to introduce jet services to their local airport. They say the public consultation, which saw 8 community leaders invited to take part in last night's focus group behind closed doors, was not democratic.
The Wanaka Stakeholders Group has a 3,000 membership and 1 representative was allowed to go in to speak. That is a warning to all of us that this isn't going the way it should, because democracy is an open process.
Last minute, nobody had time to prepare, and it feels like everybody's already decided before they're doing those consultations.
Michael Ross is one of the 8 local leaders who were invited to attend the focus group. He's concerned about the lack of environmental assessment on the impact of passenger jets landing and taking off from the airport.
The biggest concern of all is that they've only been asked to do social and economic assessments. The big question is about the environment, and they haven't got the environment as part of the brief. That in itself basically destroys the outcome of the work that they're here to do.
Several others invited to last night's focus group also left the meeting unimpressed.
I am acutely aware that Albertown and Luggett are going to be under that flight path, and that's going to add a lot more stress for the residents of both those communities.
Nothing happened in there today that was pretty much unexpected. We were directed down a number of scenarios that seemed predetermined, and there just wasn't enough thought put into them.
Luggett Community Association Chairman Graham Perkins says he's not 100% sure his community's voice is getting through, and he believes a referendum is the best solution.
I think the absolute best way to do that is via a referendum rather than the groups, because that cuts through to the individuals and lets everybody have the chance to have their say.
Local residents are being encouraged to fill out an online questionnaire as part of the public consultation process. In Wanaka, the South Today.
Emergency services were called to a crash involving 2 vehicles near an Invercargill roundabout this morning. The incident happened about 9:45 a.m. near the Stead Street roundabout. Police say a van, truck and street pole were involved. An ODT reporter says the van appeared to have collided with a street light. There were no reports of any injuries. If you were in the vicinity of Dunedin's First Church on Saturday, you may have been treated to a rare sound. A group of campanologists from around New Zealand and overseas took part in a complex bell ringing performance known as a peal, made up of nearly 40,000 chimes.
While it may seem easy, this group of bell ringers at Dunedin's First Church are putting in some hard yards. They are taking part in a complex performance known as a peal, and among them is Christchurch retiree Peter Whitehead, who has nearly 70 years of experience.
A peal consists of 5,000 changes, and it's a bit difficult to explain what changes are, but it means that there are 8 bells and they each ring 5,000 times, so that's a lot of ringing. It takes us nearly 3 hours.
It was also a chance for many of the group to catch up with each other, with some travelling thousands of miles just to be there.
4 of the ringers are over here on holiday from the UK, and the other 3, 2 are from Hamilton and 1's from Auckland, who've come all this way just to ring in this event.
Whitehead says while it may seem easy, bell ringing really does take a physical toll on the body.
If you're an experienced ringer, it's a pleasure and you enjoy every moment of it. If you're not so experienced, it can be quite daunting to ring for that length of time without stopping.
In a rare occurrence, a second peal, also from the First Church, took place today. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. Dunedin's Blueskin Resilient Communities Trust nears completing a climate-safe house, and an escapee turtle finds its way home.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Lana Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
Garage Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garage quality service. Garage Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, This technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Welcome back. Look after yourself and look after each other. That was a message for first year students during their official welcome to Dunedin at the University of Otago's convocation ceremony last night. The 3,000 students inside Forsyth Bar Stadium were encouraged to welcome and learn from everyone. Dunedin Mayor Aaron Hawkins reminded the students they could learn just as much outside the lecture theatre as inside, and encouraged them to get involved with everything the city has to offer. He says he and the council are here to support the students' endeavours. OUSA President Jack Manning said there had been 2 incidences in the past 12 months which had claimed the lives of students, and the organisation did not want the same to happen to this year's cohort. The ceremony is part of the official O-Week program, which runs until Saturday. Dunedin's Blueskin Resilient Communities Trust has almost completed building a climate-safe house as an example of how to face the future. Located on land in Waitati, which has already been flooded at times by seawater, the house was created to show how climate change challenges can be met.
Dunedin Mayor Aaron Hawkins opens what's being called a climate-safe house in Waitati. The low-carbon, eco-friendly home was built in Dunedin and trucked to Waitati last November as an example to both central and local government on how climate change issues can be met. Blueskin Resilient Communities Trust Manager Scott Willis says the site is already prone to flooding by the sea, and once this gets to be too much, the home, which is already on piles, can be taken elsewhere.
It's designed to be picked up and taken somewhere else. So we'll take the roof off, we'll take the veranda off, we'll put it on a truck and we will shift it out of here.
It's also an example of social housing, with the trust renting it out to a Waitati resident who has been having to live in a garage and an old bus for the past 2 years since her house started being flooded.
But this is one way of getting through the problem of poverty and poor quality housing. We're not taking away land, we're not forcing someone to move, we're simply providing a house that's essentially social housing on private land.
The build was largely through volunteer labour and donations, with about 40 sponsors giving $200,000 worth of material and services towards the project.
But we estimate that it can probably be built for $250,000. That's including a grid-tied solar system, so its own energy system, its own wastewater system and incredible energy efficiency with some really cool bits of kit.
The house is set to be connected to the Blueskin Energy Network, which uses renewable technologies such as wind and solar energy. And while this is the first project of its kind, the Trust is hoping to build more. In Waitati, the South Today.
After a daring escape and a quick swim in the Otago harbour, one adventurous pet turtle has finally made it home. The aquatic reptile was identified by its owner from a photo in the Otago Daily Times after it was found in the steamer basin 2 weeks ago.
Dunedin woman CJ Neve thought she might never see her pet turtle Ruby again. However, 6 weeks after her pet disappeared, a family member told Neve to check the Otago Daily Times.
So I quickly checked on ODT page and seen that Ruby had been found, and so I went to the SPCA as soon as they opened and pretty much got it.
2 weeks ago, the newspaper published a story about the red-eared pond slider after it was found swimming in the Otago harbour. Neve believes the turtle escaped its Caversham home through a cat flap just before the family went on holiday in December.
We searched the whole property all night and the next morning, and she was nowhere to be found. And we ended up having to go on holiday. So our friends came up for those 3 weeks we were away, searched everywhere as well, and they couldn't find her.
She says the turtle Ruby probably made her way down to sea via a stormwater drain 100 metres away.
It's more like a creaky sort of thing. So I'm pretty sure she must have got down there in the heavy rains maybe late last week, flushed her down to the harbour, because the vet said she wouldn't have been in the harbour for very long at all, because she wouldn't have survived with the salt water.
Apart from some scrapes and bruises and a few chips off her shell, Neve says Ruby was unharmed by the ordeal. In Dunedin, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, we hear the latest on the status of the Routeburn and Milford tracks, and we check out tomorrow's weather.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Lana Castle is proud to showcase their new retail space. Simply purchase an annual garden pass for year-round access to the garden, cafe and gift shop, or apply for a host card giving you full access to the castle, ballroom, cafe, gift shop and garden when accompanied by a full paying guest. Check out the website for full terms and conditions.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Feed me more!
Welcome back. The Department of Conservation could lose over $1 million in refunds after storm damage forced two hugely popular Great Walks to close. Heavy rains 2 weeks ago led to flooding and landslides damaging the Milford Road. The Routeburn and Milford tracks also suffered major damage, with some trampers needing to be evacuated by helicopter. A landslide crashed through Howden Hut on the Routeburn track, with those inside lucky to escape serious injury. DOC is now refunding over $900,000 for cancelled Routeburn hikes, plus over $300,000 to Milford trampers. It says the Milford track will be closed until at least the end of February, and the Routeburn will not reopen for the foreseeable future. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. A knife-wielding robber encountered a fog cannon in a Dunedin dairy. Community leaders in Wanaka expressed concern over the consultation process regarding their airport. And bell ringers kept on ringing for 3 solid hours. And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Craig.
Good evening. Yeah, we've got an interesting story about the charity hospital in Invercargill, which has moved a step closer with a confirmation today that a building's been found and donated for use as a base for this hospital. This is the dream and legacy of Invercargill man Blair Vining and his wife Melissa. Blair sadly died of cancer late last year, but used his illness to raise the profile nationally about the lack of healthcare and support for those with cancer, and that was sort of his ambition really to get this up and running. The former Clifton Club Inn has been donated by the Invercargill Licensing Trust. That's going to be refurbished and used as the day hospital facility. It's going to initially be used for colonoscopies and rely heavily on volunteer hours for medical staff. So if the building hadn't been donated, they would have had to raise another $2 million. So it's been a huge lift for them, and it's going to be great to see that up and running. Plenty on orientation as well. College Sports Day today, we profile first year law lecturer Stephen Elliott Smith, who gives a bit of an insight on what those newbies might expect. But also concerns raised today from St John's about some students who have been creating a bit of mayhem, I guess, for ambulances around town, jumping on ambulances. Somebody tried to open the door while a patient was being treated inside. So they've kind of asked for people just to pull their heads in a wee bit and show a bit of respect. So it'd be nice to think they would do that. Fresh Pages, we've got a new cookbook by British celebrity chef Jamie Oliver. Obviously with his restaurants closing, he's got time to write some more books. So this is all about vegetable dishes. He admits to being a meat lover, but thinks the vegetables and fruit don't get the respect they deserve. So this is a bid to try and raise that profile. And finally, on the sporting front, we have a look at Ross Taylor, a New Zealand cricketer, who will be playing his 100th Test match this Friday when he plays against India. Joins a pretty prestigious club of Stephen Fleming, Daniel Vittori and Brendan McCullum, so he'll go down as one of the greats as well, so we wish him well.
Great. Well, thank you, Craig. All of that and more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, it will be another day of showers for most of the region tomorrow, as unstable air allows clouds to shoot up in light airflow. Looking at the southern towns, Balclutha, the Catlins, Gore and Lumsden can all expect moderate westerlies and showers with a high of 17 degrees. Travelling westwards to central, Alexandra, Queenstown and Wanaka are in for light winds with a chance of showers and highs of 19 or 20 degrees. A bit cooler in Te Anau with a high of 17 degrees, along with moderate westerlies and showers. Looking at the northern towns, along the coast, Timaru can expect light northeasterlies with some high cloud and a warm high of 24 degrees. cooler and wetter further south for Oamaru with variable winds and a risk of showers with a high of 20 degrees. In Dunedin tonight you can expect low cloud and fog patches with an overnight low of 13. It should be mostly cloudy tomorrow with some light showers late morning and light southwesterly winds, a high of 16 and a low of 12. It will be cloudy and cool on Thursday with strong breezy northeasterlies developing, a high of 17 and a low of 13. And in Invercargill, expect fog and low cloud tonight with an overnight low of 13. It will be mostly cloudy tomorrow with scattered showers at times and moderate westerly winds, a high of 17 and a low of 14. Cloud increasing and rain developing later on Thursday with northerly winds becoming strong, a high of 18 and a low of 14. That's all for our news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.